Hello, everyone. This is Jeffrey Turner, aka MJ1 of MJ1 Media, and I am joined today by Trickster, Streams It, and Riot Kitty. Say hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
I hope that can be heard, because I'm still trying to figure this thing out here. Let me just close off the camera. I won't be needing that. Alrighty. Oh, let's see here. Who do we got? We got Juju Games on the stream on YouTube already. So, he's joining a tournament. Awesome. What tournament?
Yeah, you told me about that.
What tournament?
Actually, I don't think he told me the details.
Okay. Well, that's okay. Hey, do you hear me on the YouTube end or are you guys able to be heard on the YouTube end on the actual stream itself? Because like I said, the whole monitor only thing, I'm just not entirely sure if it worked or not.
Let's see.
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me. Can you hear yourselves though?
Yeah, I can hear. I think I can hear me, Kitty, but it's like really, it's kind of low.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I
Yeah,
can.
it could be just because I don't actually have a mic, so.
Oh, okay. Do I have to fiddle with the desktop audio or mic/aux?
I. That's a little bit tricky. OBS has a problem with like separating different audio tracks.
Okay.
There's a plugin for it, but
Okay, I'm going to.
do that now.
I did once. Well, see, here's the thing. I do have both desktop audio and mic aux muted, but I also did turn down desktop audio before. So let me see if I can turn that up and see if that works.
Yeah, that could work.
Okay, test. Speak and let me know if you sound louder now on the YouTube end.
It is I, the Trickster Lord.
Yeah, it sounds louder.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. So that's what it is. I just had to mute the mic aux. That's all I got to do. Okay.
Okay.
That
Nice,
definitely
nice.
makes things easier.
Yeah, a lot of audio things go through the desktop audio.
Okay. I do have my audio input set to the same length as the desktop audio from earlier. Should they be even, or should one be louder than the other?
It depends. Because like you have to balance out if your voice and your friends' voices are over the game audio, etc.
Ah, okay.
All that noise.
Okay, well that's no problem. Alrighty. Let me get this game in the thing, and we'll be ready to go.
Nice.
And now that we're live and everyone can hear us, I'd like to ask each of you, what was your first experience like getting into Inuyasha?
I'd say Toonami.
How about you, Riot Kitty?
I'm trying to remember. Have to get back to me on that.
Okay, no worries. Well, let's start with Trickster. What was your first experience with Inuyasha?
Let's see. So, this was around the time where I was watching Toonami, obviously, with a lot of shows on there. They had a good amount of anime, one of them being Inuyasha.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I did not have any interest in it, but once I seen the action and stuff, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm hooked.
Awesome.
And I watched a good amount of episodes. I don't entirely remember the story because again, I was super little and I didn't care about the story. All I care about was action.
Yeah, and your favorite characters.
Yeah.
By the way, fun fact, this opening intro, I actually did a re-edit of it, like about a year or so ago. Because, I mean, there wasn't enough characters, or enough anime clips of the two main characters you can choose from to play as in this game. So I felt like they got shafted in this little intro. It's like mostly recaps, clips of the actual show itself, minus the main characters who are the stars of this game.
Alright, I'm back. Actually, I think my first one was, meme clips, like, Inuyasha! That's what it was.
Well, I actually have an interesting story of how my first introduction to Inuyasha was. My first introduction to Inuyasha was actually the very first episode that featured Sango, the episode she gave me. I was like staying up one night and I was like looking for something to watch. I flipped on Cartoon Network and I was like, whoa, this looks like animation similar to Sailor Moon, but it's not Sailor Moon, it's something different. And yeah, it was the episode Enter Sango the Demon Slayer, where she lost her brother, her father, all her fellow demon slayers, and seemingly lost her own life. But the episode ends with her rising her hand out of the grave, digging herself out, saying she wasn't dead yet. So yeah, that was the first episode I ever saw, and I was like hooked, and because of that, Sango is my favorite character.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good moment to, like, you know, get you hooked on it.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I understand Inuyasha is the main lead, but let's face facts, Sango is the most interesting character, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's plenty of shows where you would get hooked on a character that isn't the main character. Like,
Yeah.
for me, I got hooked on to Adventure Time because of Marceline, and mostly because of her songs. Great.
Is someone... Oh, excuse me. Is someone putting something in the microwave there? Oh, I thought I heard 2 beep noises.
Oh, that's, I think it's an alarm that's slowly dying, and it's in the wall, so it's not like I can remove it or change the battery, so it's just
I know
there in an empty environment.
that
So
reminds me...
you can hear beeps.
Sorry, that just reminds me of those darn fire alarms or smoke detectors, where they're like easily triggered by even the slightest ounce of heat.
Yeah, it
Oh,
might be
yeah.
that, but my dad says it's like the battery dying, so it's just like...
I can't remove it.
Anyways, yeah, as you can see, even though it's been a while since I last played the game, I actually have unlocked quite a bit of it. So, here's what I'm going to do. For you, Dexter, since you've never seen this game before, have you seen this game before, Riot Kitty? Yeah. Well, this is an interesting game. You see, as you can tell, there are 2 main characters here. There's the female and there's the male. Now, they both have different first names. She's Kaname Kururugi, and he's Michiru Kururugi, if I'm pronouncing that right. You know, because the one thing you never hear is what their first names are, but you only get their last name in the story. How about that? Kind of keeping that RPG element of you are in the shoes of these characters. Now, even though they are 2 of the characters of choice, you can only see things as one of them. The other, it's like they don't exist while you're playing as one version of them. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah. Now, there have been some fanfictions on fanfiction.net that I do like, that kind of continue the story of these characters after the events of this game. Basically, they tell it where these 2 are actually twin siblings, and the one you choose is the one who gets to go into the adventure, while the other gets left behind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So, for fun's sake, I'm gonna choose the boy, Michiru. And now that we've got him, and his name is there, let's Hey, you know what? I wonder, will you guys mind if I went with my channel name? Yeah, why not? Let's see if I can, how do I, it's been a while since I've done this, how do I, okay, there, 10. Okay, let's get this. I don't know if I'll be able to spell the whole thing. Oh, what do you know? I spelled the whole thing. MJ1 Media. How about that? Alrighty. And confirm.
What? You gotta be kidding. Are you sure they're going steady?
Come on, you don't have to go and flip out over it. Boy, you sure are clued out when it comes to noticing stuff like that. One look at them and it's so obvious.
Do you really think so?
Yeah, like another obvious couple.
What? Tomokatsu and Momo-chan too?
Chill out, would you quit making a scene about it, you big doofus?
It's just that they're still only in junior high.
Get real, would ya? Already in junior high is more like it. It's hardly unusual. There are a lot of guys who already have girlfriends. Like Sakai, and there's Akira, and Shion. Oh, and Takuya.
Even Takuya?
What, you didn't know?
No, it's news to me. Man, what a shocker this has been. And here I thought I was Takuya's good friend.
Huh. I guess he didn't want to make you feel bad.
What are you saying?
You know, you don't have a girl yet.
Hmm?
You sure blush easily, Kururugi.
Next stop, Kururugi Shrine. Kururugi Shrine. Please ring the bell if you want to get off.
This is our stop.
So, whose name did you write on the doll?
Like I'm gonna tell ya.
You write a person's name on the doll, see? Then you'll be able to see them.
Ah, it's like magic, Mommy!
Oh man, I knew I was gonna be late. Sorry I'm late, Dad. I didn't mean to keep you waiting.
You know this is the Doll Festival of Wishes.
Yeah, but my homeroom class went way over time. I'll get changed and come right back.
No, hang on.
Huh?
I can handle things here. Please go to the storehouse and get me some more amulets.
You got it. Let's see. I think we put the box with amulets somewhere in the back last year. Wish I'd stopped to get a flashlight. Ow, this place is dangerous. The floor's totally rotten. And so's my luck today. I'll get Dad to fix it later.
And
where
down
am
the
I?
rabbit hole we go. So what do y'all think so far? Yeah. Oh, and the cool
Why am I
thing
in the
is,
forest?
right where my face
I
should
was just
be
in a
is the
warehouse.
MJ1
I
logo.
must have fallen through a hole.
I call that perfectly well edited.
Where's my house? I have to get ready for the festival. weird. I don't know this place. Father? Please answer me. Mom? Dad? Why won't you answer me? Where is everyone?
Are you able to hear it well?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wonder, would it be okay if I put it on the, or turned on the, or at least turn the audio output for the game capture on so that, way you guys can hear it live?
I suppose.
I mean, well, does that...
That'll work.
Okay. That way you guys... Oh, darn it. Wrong button. Okay. Let's see here. Game capture. There you go. That way you guys can hear the game. That good? Can you hear the birds?
Yes.
Well, how about that? It works. Alright. Now from here, it doesn't matter which way you go. Either way, the next scene is going to happen.
No one's here. How could that be? That's right, my cell. I'll call the house with my cell phone.
Back when cell phones were a thing.
I can't get through.
Yeah, 500 years before satellites were made.
I can't get through. I'm outside, but there's no signal. I wonder why.
I do gotta give them, the makers of this game, credit. These pre-rendered painted backgrounds aren't all bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, for the PS... What was it? PS2? It holds up alright.
Yeah. Granted,
Oh, there's some people there.
the CG characters are a little, not quite perfect, but not, like, totally horrendous either, you know?
Maybe if I talk to them, they could tell me where I am. Good. Then I can go home.
Not gonna
Huh?
be that simple.
Kimonos? Why are they wearing kimonos?
There it is!
What?
There it is!
What did you find? Why are you carrying a weapon?
Careful! It's a demon!
What? A demon? What are you talking?
Demon, where have you taken my daughter?
Wait, I just...
What are you saying now?
All right, let's catch it. Get it!
Catch it and get my daughter back!
These guys are weird. What's going on?
Don't let it get away! Catch it!
Yeah, well, considering that his daughter has vanished, it's only fitting that he's so overreactive he doesn't realize he's accusing people.
Yes, don't let it get away!
Get away! Stop it! I need to run away.
Run like the wind!
I think they're gone. But what's happening? I don't understand what's going on. Where's my house? Huh? Was that them? Is this a joke? A demon now?
Spaghettios.
Something tasty? It's a human. I was just getting hungry. How convenient.
What? What are you? Don't come near me.
You think you can run away from me?
No!
quite the best, but it's still fun.
What happened to me? Am I dead?
Hey, are you awake yet?
Who's that?
That voice sounds familiar.
What are you? Dog ears? Huh?
Hey, wait a minute. What are you scared of? It's not like I'm gonna eat you. Don't run away.
But you have dog ears and fangs. I'm scared. Don't come near me.
Don't you get it? Never mind. You were great. What kind of technique was that? You beat that demon by shining that light on him.
Technique? Demon? That's right. I was being chased by a demon. And then that light.
Hey, your clothes look like Kagome's clothes. You came from the present, didn't you?
Do you know where I came from? Please, tell me how I can get back. Huh? The present?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
The present, you know. The present.
Wait!
Apparently
Please,
someone doesn't...
help me understand.
Apparently Inuyasha doesn't know how to explain time travel.
What a hassle. Come on, follow me. If you ask Kagome, she can probably explain things.
Who's Kagome?
Kaede's village is just ahead. Come on now.
I'm a little scared, but I guess I should go. There might be someone that knows me there.
So what's the combat of this game? Or
Oh, we should... Well, we'll be seeing in just a moment here.
okay.
That purplish
Hey, wait.
cloud.
There's a strange smell. I think that demon's buddies are around.
If you can see at this point, right where my
I like because of his kimono, like his clothing, it looks like Inuyasha's just waddling.
Yeah. Yeah. And, but yeah, right where the restream chat is, there's this little purplish smoke. That's basically a sign that if you go into it, you're gonna get into a battle, definitely.
Oh, so kind of like Yokai Watch, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It had similar thing, but it was like for it was for like bosses though, and not like regular.
Oh, I think I accidentally muted the desktop audio. Is that good?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay, I'm just making sure, because I think I accidentally muted it without realizing.
No, it's
What?
okay.
The smell of demons is coming from that purple light.
What should I do?
What are you talking about? Let's go after them. It should be easy if you use the red light again. Hey, here they come.
Into our first battle.
Come and get me.
Now, up in the upper, right
Didn't even feel
there's that wheel. Basically,
Yes.
the bottom indicates whose turn it is. The west section is basically where they start after the turn is over, and you gotta wait for a full rotation before someone can go get it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there's battle is basically regular attack. Attack is basically like different special moves, like specific attacks. Like for example, these are normal attack. Basically, they do like moderate damage, but more than regular basic attacks. Special is like something they do by themselves. That's like one of their ultimate moves. And then co-op tech is where they unleash like combined attacks. just stand there, but they put their guard up so that way if they take a hit while they're waiting for the next rotation, they can they don't take as much damage as before. Now, since my main character does not know how to use his magic yet,
I can do it! I did it! Got it!
meanwhile, apparently he doesn't have much in the way of tech just yet, so that just leaves that side guy.
You're mine!
That's the end of the wolf hunter. Now I'm in that.
Damn! My body feels strange.
Okay. I figured this would be an RPG game.
And green goo means I just
Right.
poison. Gosh,
Oh, it's all 3D.
Oh man.
You're
doesn't
mine!
eat without curing themselves at the time. Losing some damage.
Alright. Yeah, you won.
These guys are all talk.
Yeah, and they also, it's nice that they got some banter even after mid-battle. And now he's learned I'm a pure soul stealer.
Those small demons are no match. Hey, why didn't you use that last move again?
I didn't know how to.
You're lame.
But I don't know what to do.
I see. That move came from his subconscious. He was so afraid to die, he did it unconsciously.
Who is that?
You just punch him, don't worry, kid.
That's just Miyoga.
What a small person. Is he a demon too?
Yes, I am Inuyasha's personal bodyguard. My name is Miyoga.
How can you say you're my bodyguard if you run away at the tiniest sign of danger?
Never mind that. I can still sense demons around us. This boy's power has not yet been awakened. We
I
have
don't
to be
think
careful.
Inuyasha needs a bodyguard anyways.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
does get in over his head like his father, so.
You're right. I can still smell the demons too.
What should I do?
You have to fight hard and make sure you don't slow Inuyasha down.
I think I'm gonna do a little something here, since, I think, since it's blocking all characters who talk, I'll move my logo right to the upper corner there.
We're getting close
There we
to
go.
Kaede's village. Well, Inuyasha, I'm going ahead.
Hey, Miyoga, wait! Damn, he's run off again. The demons around here are pathetic. Let's get...
Okay.
Okay. Now, also, one thing that this game is known for, a ridiculous amount of battles. So,
Hey,
there's
look what
a
I
lot
found!
of grinding.
yeah, I mean, it is a lot of grinding, but it's like you can barely take like 2 steps before another freaking battle sparks up. So you got to be careful when doing that.
Alright.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I have not actually watched Inuyasha in its full extent, but I do know the basic gist.
Well, it's basically this. Before the events of this game, before even the events of the show, there was Kikyo and Inuyasha, a half-demon and a priestess who liked each other. But then, all of a sudden, this bandit who was horribly burned, named Onigumo, he was tended to by Kikyo, and he ended up falling for her to the point where he was obsessed with her. And then, one day, he was being surrounded by demons, so he told them to feed on him, and he ended up merging with the demons and became Naraku, this, amalgam of human and demon, and, essentially wants to dominate everything and everyone.
Okay.
And so he started by, you know, pitting Inuyasha and Kikyo against each other by making them using his newfound powers to shapeshift into each of them and pit them against one another. He believed that if they killed each other and then or at least one killed the other and the survivor selfishly used the Shikon Jewel to heal themselves, they would be because if they were selfish enough to use the pearl, the Shikon Jewel to heal themselves, they would unknowingly make the Shikon Jewel so pure black and evil it could never be repaired. That's what he wants. He wants the Shikon Jewel to be black and corrupted to the point where it can't be repaired. But Kikyo didn't fall for his trick, and instead of killing Inuyasha, she pinned him to a tree, and that tree had his blood and her magic seep into it for 50 years. And then over time, this demon well, which was made from the wood of the tree that Inuyasha was pinned to, it created a bond between the well and the tree that when modern schoolgirl Kagome, who was the reincarnation of Kikyo with the sacred jewel born in her body, she fell down the well and ended up like 50 years after Inuyasha was pinned, right around the time where the magic finally took its toll. I know, it's a bit convoluted, ain't it?
I mean, I just know a high school girl who travels to the past and then Inuyasha recovered the jewels and stuff from like Naraku and other people, so...
Okay, I'm gonna turn that volume down a little, because I'm told it's a bit loud.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, this is PS2. PS1 had a fighting game of Inuyasha, yeah. But sadly, it doesn't include the Kururugi characters of this video game, sadly. And that's another thing that I do kind of like about this game that I kind of am disappointed was not part of the show. The Kururugi male and the Kururugi female created exclusively for this never factored into the show, and even though the show is kind of based on the manga, I feel like they should have been part of it.
Were they in the manga?
No, they were never in the manga. They were created for only.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's understandable then, I guess.
Yeah, but they.
Yeah, I think it was just to make the players more relatable into the story in this game.
Yeah. But the thing is, this story was well written, and even if the voice acting needed some improvement in some areas, the story of this was actually well written that it really should have been part of the canon.
I mean, what can you do, I suppose? I don't know of any game that actually made it into the canon, unfortunately, but, you know, at least you still got it right, so...
Yeah.
It can't be. A horse? You can't be scared of a horse. But weird hairstyles? Komodos?
Yeah, if you're a cat, that's my cat, so...
Really no worries. There's actually cats in this game.
What are you thinking about? If you don't hurry, I'll leave you behind.
You never took his history classes.
Heh. What a loser.
And there's Kagome.
Hey,
Kagome!
Where have you been?
Sorry, I'm just zeroing in on Inuyasha moving like a penguin.
You're never there when I need you.
If you're talking about those little demons, I already took care of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, now there's a new Inuyasha anime.
Yeah, I hear it's not as good as the original.
So I stepped in.
I didn't know there was
Yeah, it's called.
Princess Half Demon.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, And I will say this also. I'm not really fond of how they ended the series. Like I said, I think this game is the true ending in my
and even
opinion.
demons. My cell doesn't work. There's no police station, no cars, no convenience stores, not even a supermarket.
I don't know why, but you were sure excited.
I'm sorry. I was so happy because I thought I'd found a normal person.
That's understandable, but please calm down. I'm Kagome Higurashi. I'm in the 9th grade, and this is Inuyasha.
Yeah, my dad's home now, so she has to sit between us, so... on the stairs. And she cries because we're not in the same room, so...
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Do either of you
Sorry
have
about
a
that.
favorite character in Inuyasha?
Not particularly, honestly.
I don't remember. Shoot. I did have a favorite character, but I forgot his name.
Well, could you describe him and maybe I could help you?
I mean, they do have very distinct appearances, at least.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe should describe him.
Shoot. I just seen him too, like in the intro.
Not the present.
Then where
I'll
am
get back to you on that.
Okay, take your time.
This is the feudal era.
The feudal era? The time of Nobunaga Oda?
I don't know, maybe if I actually watched the anime in full, I would be given a stronger impression, but... Well, I got it on my watch list, so...
Yeah. I mean, I love the show. I just will admit that there are issues with it, like some of the writing and all that. Because there are times where I feel like, you know, the fairy tale aspect takes over to the point where some of the realism is lost, you know what I mean?
I see, I see.
Let's see here in the chat. Would have bought this back in the day. I didn't know about it. Yeah, I actually did buy a bunch
I didn't know there were any Inuyasha video games.
Yeah. I actually did buy some Inuyasha merch back in the day. That's how I still have this. It's just that I kind of gave some of it away because, you know, it was kind of hard to stay followed to it, you know? Yashahime is on all the websites of anime. Yeah, though I hear it's not as well received by most fans. Is Sango's butt a character I can choose to like? Hey, you have to choose Sango. If you say that.
But I've only read about the feudal era in my textbooks.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how like all the the 2000s, mid 2000s anime are just getting a continuation all at the same time, basically.
Yeah.
I think like obviously Cardcaptor Sakura started in the 90s, I think, but yeah,
I think they had the
their
start in the 90s because with Sailor Moon getting her comeback, I guess everyone else got theirs.
Yeah, so it's like it was you know, Cardcaptor Sakura, and then there was obviously the Princess Half Demon thing, Tokyo Mew Mew's getting a reboot,
Just a minute ago, you were bawling, and
Black
now
Rock
you're all
Shooter,
chaos.
new anime, so...
You'd be balling too if you had to go through all that.
Reminds me of someone else that cries all
Oh yeah,
the time.
Bleach is coming back, you know, it's...
Wow, Bleach. I can't wait.
Me? Always mad? Yeah, right.
I kind of fell off of that anime.
The amount of sarcasm.
What do you have against Bleach?
See, you're
I kind of fell off of it.
Other than the fact that it ruins your clothes. See what I did there?
Yeah.
You're the one that's so touchy. You're
Like,
always losing your
it
temper.
interests me, but I don't know. It kind of felt dragged on. Like I feel like it didn't get to
Who does she think she is?
enough time. I don't know.
First, audio and text error. Who does she think she is? One could say that he was referring to Kagome, but I think it was meant to be for the female version of this, because there are going to be moments in this game where they say she instead of he. And that's in regards to the
Classic
character.
mistake.
Yeah. Classic, yeah, classic translation mistake. I think, I don't know, maybe they were trying to make the female the main character, but they forgot there is also supposed to be a choice for the male lead and all that.
Sometimes that happens. I think actually Pokemon made that mistake a long time ago. It's like I was with Fire Red and Leaf Green, so obviously there was no female character in the original, so
yeah.
they, fortunate oversight, they accidentally just did not change the dialogue for the female.
Dang.
So it was just like you're just the he.
And by the way, there's at least, let me count here. There's at least 4 Inuyasha video games that I am familiar with. The first one was a PlayStation 1 Street Fighter style fighting game.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, JoJo also had that.
Yeah, basically it's Inuyasha Feudal Fairy Tale. It's you go all around this one map, fight each of the other characters, and eventually fight Naraku at the end, obviously. And then the character you went around the map with gets their own unique special ending.
That's pretty cool.
And then there's this game which came out, and then after this game there was Inuyasha Feudal Combat, which was similar to Feudal Fairy Tale, but with a more CG 3D style. And that one wasn't bad. They actually put a member of the Band of Seven, a character who is kind of popular at the time. I think it's Banryu, or either that or that was the name of his sword. I can't remember. But yeah, the leader of the Band of Seven, he was like a special character featured in that game. And then there's this game called Inuyasha Secret of the Divine Jewel, which was sort of similar to this game. You got a modern girl, except she's an American blonde chick, and she's the reincarnation of a Japanese goddess. So that's how she's able to go through the well.
I see.
Yeah.
Don't be shy.
Never mind. Don't you need to go back to the well?
Why?
Don't you want to go back?
That's right.
What do you mean?
Behind this village, there's a well called the Bone Eater's Well. The well connects our town to feudal Japan. That's how I got here.
You mean?
You may be able to go back.
I like how Trickster's icon looks like it's being sat on.
Wow, really?
My icon?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh yeah, hold on a second. I almost forgot something here. Give me just a moment. Add that. There is image. There we go. Okay.
What do you mean?
Okay, got that. Now let me just find the image. Takes pretty much forever for this darn thing to load up sometimes. Alrighty, there we go. There's the image. So what do you think, Trickster?
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And what do you think, Riot Kitty?
I like it.
Yeah, I thought you both might like having your own little icons put next to me on this thing.
Yeah, I like it. It's nice.
Thanks. Now then, back to the game.
Okay, it's on the
Alright.
eastern outskirts of this village.
Well, I think my most anticipated anime of this year right now is Spy Time's Family, if anyone knows what that is.
Not quite familiar, but
Well, it's basically like, okay, so this dude, he's a spy.
Yeah.
And his new mission is to get a fake family to enroll his fake child at an academy to get close to this recluse of a target who only shows up there every once in a while.
Oh wow. That's very interesting.
Yep.
Well, by the
So
way,
he gets a fake wife, a fake child, and well, not a fake child, but his fake daughter, and he rolls her there, and shenanigans ensue basically. But the spoiler, the wife is an assassin, and she's kind of crazy. So.
Oh, sounds
And
like
the daughter.
sounds almost
And
like
the daughter
that
is a
movie about him.
telepath, so she immediately knows who her new family is.
Sounds almost like that movie I once saw. I don't know if, what was that? It was like this fake family becomes a real family because they're trying to escape from something or something. And then meet
We're the Millers.
Yeah, We're the Millers. I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like kind of like getting like a huge stash of cash in like Mexico or something. A bunch of family members, and he's like promises them each a cut. Like it's just like this random. He like literally picks up 2 random kids to be his. Like he doesn't even know them hardly at all.
Oh wow.
By the way,
and then the lady got kicked out of her apartment, so she like needs money for a new.
Yeah. And also, interesting thing, you can interact even with the chicken.
Oh, nice.
And then when you do, it moves.
Being able to pet animals in games is immersion.
Yeah. And then when you interact with it again, it moves right back to where it was.
Oh.
Then he gives you the most powerful weapon in the game.
Teleporting chicken.
The egg shooter.
Nice.
But interesting thing, I know where these steps go. It goes up to the shrine where the remains of Kikyo were buried. But it's interesting, you can't access it.
Probably not yet.
Yeah. Well, not actually. As far as I know, you can't access it at all in this game. As far as I know.
Oh, I see. They probably didn't include it in the plot of the game.
Maybe. Would have been nice if it was accessible. Oh, but interesting thing. I am gonna cheat here because I don't want to grind while I'm trying to show this off for you guys. This little cat here, when you beat the game for the first time, you'll find this cat here. And when you do, I am a mysterious talking cat. Every time you play, I will show my appreciation by giving you points for your experience. What do you want to do? And I get a choice here, but I'm gonna take the experience points. And now, the cat's gone, but guess what?
Chicken butt.
Not just chicken butt. I am now up to level,
Nice.
level
Okay.
30. I went from level 1 to 30 just like that.
Wow. Free experience.
Yeah. Alright,
very
got
cool.
another bot in my darn chat. I hate when that happens. I really hate these bots. I mean,
I actually got my first bot in the chat, like my last stream.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, they're everywhere, I guess.
I just don't get it. I mean, the bots, they started harassing us back when the holidays just roughly started. And now it's like the holidays are over. Why are you still harassing us?
The bots never sleep.
Oh, wrong button.
This is a warm-up drumming I just did. Is Sonic?
You know, I'm so used to using a joystick, I forgot that this game is probably best played with the D-pad.
Probably.
See.
Also, another reason I picked the guy, not over the girl in playing this game. He has more blue while she's more yellow. Blue is my favorite color and all that.
My favorite is yellow.
This is the Bone Eater's well.
It looks really old. Almost like demons could come out of it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so anyways, I adored Spy Time Stamp. I even made an entire video about it, so I'm very happy it's getting an anime, so.
That's good.
So cool.
What is your first anime ever? And is it your favorite?
Dragon Ball Z Kai.
And is it your favorite?
What's my favorite?
Yeah, is it your favorite?
My favorite anime is Kill la Kill, but...
How about you, Dex?
My first anime?
Yeah, and is it your favorite?
I think my first was Dragon Ball Z, but it's not my favorite.
Oh.
It's very close to it though.
Okay.
Yeah, like I ranked Dragon Ball Z Kai like in number 3.
Yeah.
It's very close.
Right. Okay. My first anime was Sailor Moon. Therefore, by default, that has to be my favorite.
I mean, sure.
Why not?
Hey, there are worse first animes, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
Hey, don't say that. You're gonna scare them.
Interesting is that when you think about it, the time travel in this game and even in Inuyasha in general is basically like transportation in Super Mario. You know, the well is basically a glorified plumber's pipe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Inuyasha. You're so insensitive. Sorry.
That's okay. So, do I go in from here?
Yeah, if you jump in, it should take you right back to the present.
But I do rank the second anime I ever watched at number 2, so. Which is Cardcaptor Sakura, so.
Oh, I heard of that one. I forgot what it was about though.
Yeah, what is Cardcaptor
Yeah, it's about a girl who goes trading card game hunting with a small bear who appears out of a magic book.
So it's like Yu-Gi-Oh, but different.
That
It's,
yeah, that
it's
sounds
not
like
Yu-Gi-Oh at all.
That sounds like if Zatch Bell was a card game.
It's more like Monster Hunter, basically, if you want a comparison. But just with cute magical girls and puffy dresses. And...
Oh.
I actually have my own idea for how to do Pokemon. It was very difficult because, you know, how do you do, you know, a Japanese nation that has these rare creatures, yet they've been around for a very long time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how do you tell them in a way where it doesn't look like animal cruelty? So, yeah, instead of having us, like, capture the Pokemon and train them to do things for us, I have it where my version of the Pokemon are actually wise sages that teach us things, mostly martial arts. So it's kind of like Pokemon meets Dragon Ball.
Cool. I had a fanfic that kind of redefined Pokemon as well. Instead of capturing Pokemon in Pokeballs, you would bond with them naturally, like if they were a friend or a pet. And subsequently, when you do that, your bond becomes stronger, and you even can use the moves that Pokemon use. I know it gets ridiculous, but I like it.
So basically, the Pokemon are kind of like the sources of our power.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's not bad.
I was gonna make it into a fanfic, but then I grew up.
Nice.
Well, that's not a bad idea.
Basically...
I would highly encourage you to write a story about that.
Actually, like, I was gonna... I don't know, I guess that you could say it's a combination of Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, and Bakugan, if you know what that is.
I've heard of it,
like
never saw it.
They summon...
What are you scared of?
There's, like, summoning monsters out of cards to do battle, I guess, and then, like, you equip them onto yourself, like, if, like, you...
That's
I
pretty
don't know.
Okay.
No, that's pretty cool. I've heard of all those animes, and I think that would be probably a little bit complicated, but I could see it working.
So yeah, take your idea, Dex, and definitely make something of it.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay. Definitely take a look at this part.
Right now, focusing mainly on my comic is just a random idea.
Yeah, I'm still trying to finish writing the Blue Shogun. It's just the whole time travel aspect of it is getting a little confusing now. So I'm trying to take it slow, and yeah, I'll message you guys about it.
Okay.
Yeah, time travel can be a little messy, but
Yeah.
I'm glad you're still going at it and going at it slow.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, I wish it was done by now, but at the same time, I don't want to risk, haphazardly, half finishing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, heck, my comics thing, like, it's gonna be 4 years now, so it's.
Yeah. I mean, I've been trying to write since I was like 15, and I've gone through many different rewrites, and then eventually I finally settled. Now it's just ironing it out and getting rid of the wrinkles.
Yeah, I get it. I'm trying to do that.
But this is a good part here. Watch this.
You've gotta get up the courage.
What are you scared of?
Here I go. 1, 2, 3, right? Huh?
Inuyasha, what did you
He
do
just
that
pushes
for?
him into the freaking well.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Pushes him out of existence.
I think he's all right.
Oh, you shared a little
What did you do that
That's
for,
cute.
Inuyasha?
Yeah, I just did that
I
5 minutes ago.
What
Oh,
got
nice.
hurt?
Shut
I
up.
want to
Just
drop
help
him into
now.
a long jump like Mario.
What? How's that?
Excuse me.
What?
Can you stop fighting and help me?
Can you stop fighting and help me?
I don't know why, but you can't seem to get through.
Seems that way.
Don't worry. I'm sure there's another way.
Okay, but what do I do now?
Well, Kaede helped me out when it was my turn.
Who's Kaede?
She's the wisest person in this village. She's a priestess, and she knows a lot.
But she's always nagging me.
Only because you're always getting into trouble.
Well, I don't really understand. But she doesn't sound like a bad person. I'd like to meet her.
Okay, let's go. She lives on the west side of the village square.
By the way, west side of Scranton is where I went to school. I graduated at West Scranton High School.
Nice.
Yep.
Neat.
The good old blue and white alma mater.
I went to 2 high schools, one in West Virginia and one in Pennsylvania, Pocono Mountain.
I went to 1 high school, so it was okay.
I actually went to 2 elementary schools. I started in like this one, and then I got moved to another.
Me too.
Yep, I transferred to a lot of different schools. A lot when I was a kid.
This is Priestess Kaede's house.
What? There's 2 of you, Kagome?
Kagome's back!
So Kagome has a twin?
Twins? What are you saying?
You're not twins?
Oh, Kagome.
Hey, behave yourself, Shippo.
What is she supposed to think with you suddenly looking like that?
Another error.
What happened? Kagome turned into a child.
And now for the trickster of Inuyasha, Shippo.
I didn't mean to scare you. I was just practicing the art of transformation.
Transformation? How can you do that? Are you pulling my leg?
You use the art of transformation when you want to trick someone.
I see. So what's your name?
So yeah, keep that in mind, Dexter. When you want to trick someone, use the art of transformation.
I can
don't know if I can
Kagome.
do that.
My name's Shippo. Are you Kagome's friend?
Not really.
Kagome brought you from the well. Seems like you've
It's
been
funny how they say
around.
present, as if Inuyasha and his friends don't consider where they come from the present.
Yeah. You would think that
They
Inuyasha,
could
from
just
his
say, "Yeah, we're
perspective,
from
would
the
say
future."
from the future.
Yeah.
You seem really calm, even though you're a kid.
Yeah, it's
Or-
a little weird, but
Maybe
oh
it's
well.
because he's so used to Kagome calling her world the present that's why he said it wrong.
Yeah, I
I'm
figured.
not a kid anymore. I'm a respectable adult.
Don't be such a smart aleck.
What did you say, Inuyasha? Both of you, stop it. We're going to Kaede's house, right?
Cut it out, Shippo.
Ouch! That hurt! That's it. Inuyasha, sit!
Hey, what was that? Wow, Kagome.
This is the power of Priestess Kaede. Come on, let's go talk to Kaede.
So yeah,
Okay.
the sit command is on some occasions it's been very comical, but otherwise it really is not the best thing to ever be put in this, because when Kagome gets easily frustrated and angry, she immediately lashes out by abusing the power on Inuyasha.
Hello.
From the look of your clothes, I guess you came from the same place as Kagome.
Yes.
You can relax. No one's going to eat you.
I was looking for something in the storehouse. When I suddenly blacked out. When I came to, I was in this world. I would like to go home. Can you please tell me how to do that?
You want to go home? I thought you were Kagome's friend. It seems like a difficult situation. Tell me your story from the beginning.
And we skip over that recap.
So that's what happened. Sounds similar to when
Give me
Kagome...
a story from the beginning.
Yeah.
But I just watched it on
Well,
YouTube.
work. Well, the boat is...
Yes, I just fell straight to the bottom.
I see.
Do you know why I can't get through? I really want to go home.
Unfortunately, I don't know.
But please, you're gonna help me.
And by the way, the fact that he went down the well and did not pass through it is basically an implication that there is another means of time travel, and that's what was used to bring him back here.
Probably.
I don't know how I know.
You gotta go in the same way you came through.
Yeah. So, because the Bonies, he couldn't
In
go
this
through the
world.
Bonies
I
well.
know that. I at least know that. In this one.
Yeah.
Gosh, I feel for you. Yeah.
You mean I can't go home?
That's the thing about magic time travel, it's very fussy.
Irritating.
At least
Why
with
are you so
machines, it's
upset?
somewhat, simplistic, right?
Don't be so hard on him, Inuyasha.
Whatever. It's not like he's gonna die if they can't get home.
That's true. But you could be a
Oh, you'll die eventually.
Huh.
It just won't be with your family and friends anyway.
If he dies, he dies.
Being
I have a
nice
cynical
isn't gonna find his way home.
It is okay.
If you
Kinda
want to
dark.
go home, you need to find a way to do that.
Find a way?
Yeah, either I like flip flop from being like having like cynical
Well,
humor
what
to
else?
just laughing at whatever dumb stuff.
I guess you're going anyway by being upset.
You can be upset anytime you want.
Okay. I'll just have to keep trying.
It's okay, as long as you get it.
That's enough, Inuyasha.
Well, if that's the case, you might as well
okay
stay
over there?
here with Inuyasha and everyone else.
Don't be coughing
What?
your lungs up
Now
on
that's
me.
going a little too far.
I couldn't.
Wait a minute, Inuyasha. Just like when Gomi arrived in this world, this is no trivial matter either.
So what?
If something should happen, it would be better if you were together.
This is so annoying. Fine, whatever.
Things are looking up, huh?
I can stay here? Thank you.
It's decided then. Let's go listen to the village gossip. Maybe we'll find a clue, something here.
Okay.
Okay, now we can finally start moving around a little more and not as much dialogue. Because that's usually the one thing that can take up a good portion of this game is the dialogue.
Yep, a lot of RPGs are like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a kind of slow start beginning, but it's okay.
Yeah, look at the good background.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Gotta find a few people to talk to.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the models are a different story, but yeah, the backgrounds hold up really well.
Yeah. And while they don't have too much of the music from the actual show, it is nice that they at least got some music that is still nice to listen to.
Yeah. I love in the beginning how you just get people who seem to be aware that they're in a video game.
Yeah.
It's to give you tutorials. They don't actually admit to it.
Young travelers, if you press triangle, you can open up the menu. What menu? What are you talking about?
Well, those are the entertaining NPCs.
Yes.
And look, here is the save point. You can save your life. And it's like, what?
What sorcery is this?
It's witchcraft. Just go back to this point if you screw up, kid.
Nothing really matters. Just save.
Yeah, must have
I
missed.
like how he's Naruto running, even though the kid in front of him is just leisurely running, leisurely jogging.
Really wants to be a ninja.
Yeah. You know, it's just cool. It's cooler that way.
Heck yeah.
Cool version of running.
The one thing about this
I
is you
used
gotta
to
figure out things slowly. You have to like question every person and everything.
Talk to every chicken you find, I guess.
Yeah.
Chicken, every cat, every dog, all of them.
I want you to search every man house, whorehouse, hen house, dog house, and outhouse. Our fugitive's name is Dr. Richard Kimball.
I don't think this is a rated M anime. Or video game.
Anyone who's seen The Fugitive gets that reference.
I know the quote, but I didn't see The Fugitive.
Oh, it's a fun movie, and the follow-up, U.S. Marshals, isn't bad.
Just perform a lap dance, and you'll get all the information you need.
And the fun fact is that, the fun fact about...
South Park game reference.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and the fun fact
there's
about...
literally a mini game where you just go in and you perform lap dances on ungrown adults. So it's M-rated furries.
Oh yeah.
Oh my. And the fun fact about the movie The Fugitive, it's actually based on an old TV show called The Fugitive.
Oh, nice.
Also, another fun fact, the character of Hobbs from Fast and Furious was initially supposed to be played by Tommy Lee Jones as a reference to his character in The Fugitive.
Oh. Did he get a chance to be in the movie, not in the as a main role?
I honestly don't know.
Oh yeah, I did want to ask, just not take it the wrong way, but yeah, how long were you thinking of going?
Not too long. I mean, like, we've already did a good, like, hour and a half so far. I mean, how much longer would you like to go?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good for, I don't know. I'm good. It's whatever you want. You're the host.
Well, I think I might go until at least 8 or 8:30. But, yeah. Like Inuyasha said, we're not getting anywhere by just standing around talking.
But Inuyasha, I'm trying to complete the tutorial.
Tutorial? What is this? What are you talking about?
You know, the way Kagome put her finger to her forehead, it's almost like it's missing a simple twirl, like she's saying, he's loopy!
She's gonna, like whipping her hair, like, ugh.
Yeah.
Hey, something's bothering me.
Okay, well I finally picked a name for the device I used to summon monsters for my idea.
Ooh.
It's cool, so I don't know, maybe like it'll be the name of the series, I don't know yet.
Well, if it's unique enough, then yeah, why not?
Well, here's one thing I will talk to you guys about real quick about the time travel of my story. Initially, I kind of wanted this little... I still want it to be. I want this little, like, dragon pearl filled with magic. It's, like, able to allow you to travel back and forth through time or something like that. But the thing is there's also this... I want to create this place similar to, you remember the Axis of Time from the 90s X-Men cartoon?
Oh, it's been a while. Remind me what that is.
Yeah, basically it was a place that existed outside of time where you can see all events throughout history, but unless you were someone powerful like Apocalypse, you couldn't, like, control all of time and space.
I see.
So yeah,
you know what? That kind of reminds me of Eden Zero. The same guy did Fairy Tail. There's like this place that only this Chinese lady. She just like narrates the whole story basically, and you can view all and see all basically. And it's kind of outside the realm of physical existence.
Yeah. I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, should my character, the Blue Shogun, be someone who has to, like, figure out where he's going and then go there? Or does he have, like, this secret, like, hub where he can travel to any place in time at any given point in which he chooses? Like, should he have,
probably, like, figure out where he's going. That
You think so?
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's probably better because, you know, people like conflict or like main characters solving a problem and like I suppose, you know?
Yeah.
So that might be a better execution.
Okay, so he should be
Like
more
a better
like
start to your story.
So he should be better off just creating wormholes, and the whole space outside of time thing should be saved for some, like, later project?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, because
maybe he becomes like an official time traveler, like Trunks or something, in an organization. I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, because here's the thing: the Blue Shogun, he does originate from like feudal Japan, but he's always had this ability to go back and forth through time. He's just never really tapped into it so much because he doesn't know if it's sort of like a responsibility thing. Initially I was gonna have it be this like event. Like this event happens where this portal connecting modern LA to feudal Japan just spontaneously opens, like fate almost. But I also know that I need the Blue Shogun to have some part to play in the whole reason why it's happening.
I did just send a message on Discord. I don't know. Does that sound like a unique enough name?
Centralium Ores.
It's their device that they use. They like strum a chord on their gear, and then they summon out the monster. At least that's what I'm thinking.
Sounds like an interesting term to describe.
Maybe for the name of the thing, what about concords to make it short or something like that?
Concords? Interesting. Okay. I'll think about it.
I know. Probably because I didn't get you to go near.
Yeah, strumming a chord to summon stuff, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, like it'd be like a, kind of like the call of like a siren or something. Obviously they're not sirens, but it's just like, okay, like I'm calling you to fight, basically.
Get over here.
Yeah, basically, like it's just like I want to be kind of like Bakugan, where it's like they're summoned from a different place, so it's just like boom. It's like, oh god damn it! I was just in the shower. Come on.
I actually have a character who does get summoned against his will, and every time he gets summoned, he says, "Why have you summoned me?
Yeah.
What do you want from me?"
But then on the flip side, I think I kind of like later down the line or something, I want it to be like where the human characters get a taste of their own medicine, and then the monsters get to summon them.
That sounds pretty cool.
And then I just want to have one monster be like to his human, and it's like, there. Now you see how we like it.
How do you like it, huh? How do you like it?
And then they get to like and they have like special outfits, I guess, like when they summon their monsters, and they get to kind of look like matching outfits almost.
Ooh.
So like just think of like I don't know, example probably like a Yugi summoning Dark Magician, and then he gets a nice Dark Magician-esque outfit.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Thank you. Like it's just a combination of series that I like, which.
Yeah, that's usually how works go. Just like you find all the stuff that you like and just put it in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that one weird Pokemon manga where people fuse with Pokemon.
Oh right, that was a thing.
Yes, that was definitely a thing. I swear the people writing the Pokemon manga are on drugs.
They're like, we can tell whatever story we want, right? Yeah, sure, go nuts.
yeah, basically it's like here's all the characters from the games, do whatever you want with them.
Yeah. And that's why I find it interesting how, even though he technically isn't, it's interesting that Ash is basically based on Red from the original Pokemon generation.
Almost. They are definitely not the same character. Even if it's one based on another. And,
yeah,
well, Pokemon anime essentially does whatever it wants to, so.
That is true. Sometimes
Okay, I'm just gonna skip through the dialogue here.
Yeah, basically,
it's like holding us up while we're trying to talk.
Anime, the villain team doesn't exist, and it's just Cassandre, and then he actually summons Zygarde as a kaiju, and then he destroys the city.
Oh, jeez.
Are you talking?
It's very surprising. And here
Why
we are,
do
all
that?
together.
Inuyasha isn't really a team.
That's enough.
And then Pokemon becomes I don't know what, Power Rangers for a bit, in the Sun and Moon anime, there's bats fight things and or ride on Pokemon and
wow,
hunt aliens and yeah.
I gotta read the manga more.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, I want to pick up the Pokemon Reborn manga, and there's also different. There's not even there's sub-series too. Like, the last manga I bought was like a Diamond and Pearl Adventures, and this is like a almost a completely new set of characters, and this is almost basically Feral Boy named Arata or something, and he just randomly strips sometimes, just cuz, and is accompanied by Misume, and she's a former Team Galactic grunt, and...
Oh, wow. Already immensely interesting than the anime.
Yeah, and then there's like this reoccurring guy, and he's a Team Galactic grunt with a gigantic butt for some reason, and then they call him Bubble Butt.
What?
Yeah, it's definitely weird.
That guy's
And Arata is not like any other Pokemon trainer you've seen. He fights with his Pokemon, so basically he, like, kicks his opponents in the shin sometimes. You know, he rides on his Pokemon. Like, one time he rides on Regigigas to, like, surf. He just floods the Team Galactic building, and it's
Man, this all-powerful Pokemon, and he uses it as an HM slave.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
And
hilarious.
somehow in the manga, Regigigas can learn surf for some reason. I don't know if he can use.
Alright.
It's like, how does that thing float? That thing's heavy as pins.
Yeah, what the heck?
Second battle of the game, and this time I'm at level 30.
Ooh.
Time to totally win against everything.
Wait, did you just like collect a bunch of random experience points?
Yeah, because I talked to the one cat.
Oh my gosh. I love how basically it's like, okay, if you beat this game, you can just speed run the next playthrough. And that's
Yeah. Well, it's kind of hard to speed run when you're running into a battle every 2 steps.
Well, I mean, like, I guess like less grinding, so it takes less.
And it's funny because story-wise, this guy, he doesn't quite have his Shikigami yet, but here it is in his possession.
I am now all-powerful. Fear me! You might get in trouble with the word contra.
Why?
Because it's already a video game.
Contra? Oh.
Yeah, Contra, the game that basically semi-ripped off, semi-paid homage to Predator and Alien and Rambo, all in one.
Interesting. That sounds like probably it's gonna have a lot of explosions, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of shooting and exploding. It's actually a really hard game.
Speaking of explosions, Shippo just dropped firebombs on that bat.
Got it.
Noise.
So yeah, then I'll just stick with Country Alien chords, I think, so. That sounds unique enough. Or there's not gonna be any copyright issues or anything like that.
Yeah, it sounds very unique, and you should be safe with that. Whack, whack, whack.
I can't remember, but I think there was...
All those guys put together.
I can't remember, but there was like this... Oh yeah, it was a Take-Two for some... Like, it was copyright striking anything with even like a single word from any of their titles or properties. Like, so basically it's like they were copyright striking the word Rockstar.
Oh
which,
gosh, what the hell is wrong with them? And you know,
then, like, you know, like, if it's, like, it has auto or Grand Theft in it, or...
Oh my
you
gosh.
know, like, Redemption, even.
Oh my god,
That
what are they
is
gonna
the
do?
color
Arrest the
red.
police? They're gonna be like, you're under arrest for Grand Theft Auto, and then you're being sued for using the word Grand Theft Auto.
Oh gosh.
I don't think it was that bad.
That is
but
horrible.
yeah,
I
it's
mean-
like they were copyright striking things that, like, had the word Rockstar in it.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, and that's the thing. Take-Two Interactive, the guys behind Rockstar, they
Take-Two.
are into some
But,
very
like, yeah, so basically, like, they try to issue a takedown notice if it takes two, because it has Take Two in the title.
Yeah.
So, like,
so
that's
stupid.
Yeah, they're
It's
very
stupid.
crooked these days. Very, very crooked.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it is very, very stupid. I don't even know. Last I heard of it, basically, it's just basically they had the developers either had two options. So basically, anyone can basically use the name It Takes Two without any repercussions or anything like that. So they have no hold over the name, and then, or they could just change the name, which is stupid.
Huh.
I mean, can you, like, kind of imagine, like, let's say, like, it would be Nintendo copyright striking anyone with the word star in it?
Oh, gosh.
Or something. Or, like, Galaxy? I don't know.
Oh, my God. That's just
Or, like,
stupid.
brothers, or something?
Yeah.
That's basically how stupid that is. Like,
Very. And I could see Nintendo kind of doing something like that, since they're already pretty stickler about,
yeah, like fan games and stuff, but honestly, I don't think they'll ever get that ridiculous.
Yeah.
God.
It's ridiculous because at Take-Two, they actually told someone who had built from the ground up a full-on high-definition remaster of the San Andreas map from the original GTA San Andreas. You know, made it more realistic,
yeah, they took
like
down all the
GTA
mods
5
and stuff. So
yeah, it sucks because it looked really beautiful.
Man.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys want to take like a 4 to 5 minute break?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty
I
then.
need to go to the bathroom.
No worries, because this is the perfect
Bathroom
time to for me to take a commercial break and show you all my commercials. If you all like what you see here and you'd like to see more, then be sure to
Stick around.
And if you don't like what you see here, then
Quick! Change the channel!
We'll be right back. Bullseye.
Hey, kid. You think you're an X-Man, okay? Name him.
Wolverine, Cyclops, Beast, Gambit, Rogue, Sabretooth, Magneto, Cable, Storm, Professor X, Phoenix, Bishop, Archangel, Apocalypse, Iceman.
You forgot some.
Mr. Sinister, Omega Red, Colossus, Juggernaut, Weapon X, Sauron, Longshot, Pyro, Gladiator.
Name them, join them, collect them. The X-Men collection, sold separately.
In the driver's seat, Spider-Man. Smite in his battle chip. Remember, always wear your seatbelt. Too much for you? Spider-Man's no match for my Tri-Spider Slayer. No thanks, I already showered today. I'll bet the guys really flip over you. Excuse me while I get myself out of a pinch.
Web Shooter Spider-Man figures and vehicles sold separately.
I must have that new Sega Power Rangers game. Goldar, steal it for me.
No wonder Rita wants that game. Look at those graphics.
Woo, and those moves.
Check out those battle zones. Let's go, Goldar. Sorry, Rita. You'll have to buy it like everyone else.
Huh? Sega!
Power Rangers for Sega Genesis. Also available for Game Gear and Sega CD. All sold separately.
McGruff here. See that guy? He's stealing that bike. Now, see that lady? She's calling the cops. Mimi Marth, part of the Eyes and Ears Patrol in Hartford, Connecticut. There's 126 of them, regular people, working together to help prevent crime. You know, you could do that. Find out how. Write to Box 6600, Rockville, Maryland. You'll be helping to take a bite out of crime.
Now, the most successful comic book series in history is on home video. Marvel Comics' X-Men, a heroic band of mutants. They do what must be done, and they do it with style. X-Men, a 30-year tradition that Polygram Video is proud to offer in this exciting collectible series of action-adventures, featuring the characters you've grown to love and admire as they do battle with the forces of evil. Keep your eyes open for these and more X-Men home video adventures, and team up with the coolest mutant crusaders in the known universe. Now, you can collect all the titles in the original X-Men series from Polygram Video. The one and only X-Men.
It's Marvel Comics' Amazing Spider-Man like you've never seen him before, in 4 action-packed video games. Spider-Man comes to the NES in Revenge of the Sinister Six. Dr. Octopus has assembled Electro, Mysterio, Hobgoblin, and more. Only you can disarm his evil plan to rule the world. For portable web-swinging action, it's Spider-Man 2 for Game Boy and Spider-Man for Game Gear. You'll need your spider sense when you take on supervillains Venom and Carnage. Get ready as Marvel Comics' Dream Team bursts onto Super Nintendo in Spider-Man and the X-Men in Arcade's Revenge. It'll take all your mutant powers, Spidey's webs, Wolverine's adamantium claws, Cyclops' optic blasts, Storm's lightning, and Gambit's exploding cards to foil Arcade's diabolical plot. Marvel Comics' Amazing Spider-Man on NES, Game Boy, Game Gear, and now Super Nintendo. If this is too much action for you, take it up with this guy.
Tired of the same old fun and games? Welcome, Spider-Man X-Men, to the video game ride of your lives.
Wolverine, Spider-Man, Gambit, Cyclops.
Now on Genesis, the ultimate video game team. Are we having fun yet?
Our mission, return to program.
Bullseye.
Hey there, Trap. Sorry, we were at commercial break there. So, yeah, thank you for the raid, dude. Alrighty. At the moment, Trickster and Riot Kitty are off on break themselves, so, that just leaves you with me for a bit. Now then, let me,
I'm back.
at least... Oh, welcome back, Trickster. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear.
I'm a demon, Kagome. Watch me slice this guy up.
Oh. And of course I get knocked right into a battle, even though I'm not in a purple cloud.
Oh, that's weird.
Come and get me!
Yeah, you weren't kidding. There's a lot of them.
Yes. Is this if I could... Ah! I did it!
Huh, that tackle did 111 points of damage. Almost like he went from high school nerd to high school quarterback. Let's see how the ghosty likes firebombs.
Blow up the ghost. He certainly did not like the firebombs.
Oh yeah, by the way, we were joined by Trap on Twitch.
Okay,
we got raided.
Oh, nice. That is super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let me actually go to Twitch and see that. Yeah, there we go.
Hey, look what I found!
You were playing King of Fighters 15, and it was awesome. Oh, cool. I never heard. I mean, I've heard of the title. I'm just not very familiar with it.
Oh wow, my internet dipped for a sec. All right, there we go.
Hey, look what I found!
That was so weird.
And I avoided the purple clouds.
Let's see. Which should I pick?
Traveling salesman. How about that? It's been a while since I played this, so I almost forgot the directions.
Ow. More buffering. What the heck? Okay, there we go.
Oh, what do you know? I found my way.
Okay, well, on that. There we go.
Hi, I'm back.
Welcome
back.
Alrighty.
There's a long bathroom break.
It is okay.
There we go. Well, when you like what Ian Malcolm said in Jurassic Park, when you gotta go, you gotta go. So, yeah, we got raided by Trav while we were on commercial break. Alrighty. What time is it now? Uh-oh. What does it mean when the little green box in the lower left corner starts shifting from, like, green to, like, orange?
Oh, so it was on your side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's not really good. It means you're dropping frames.
Dropping frames.
The cause of it can be any of one of three things.
Okay.
It could be your internet, it could be your CPU, or it could be your GPU.
Okay, well, it's...
To find out which one it is, hold on, let me bring up my OBS. See what it tricked that.
Well, right now it says my CPU is 9.3%. And then it's flickering to 11 points.
Okay, so you would go at the top left of your OBS, you would go to View and Stats.
View Stats. Yeah, it says I'm live, and bitrate is over 2,000. And the drop frames, 1,000 something.
I think that's fine. So in the stats window, where it says drop frames network, is there any number above 0?
Oh, in the percentage brackets, it says 0.8%.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
0.8. Okay. Where it says okay, so where it says frames missed due to rendering lag, what's the first number?
Oh, it's 1,000. Oh, now it's gone orange. It's 1,000. It's 1990. Is that bad?
In the frames missed due to rendering lag?
And now in the percentage, it's gone to 1.0%.
And that's rendering lag, right?
I think. I mean, it says.
Or is that under the drop frames network?
I have no idea. I mean, I Drop Frames Network. I'm looking at that, like you told me to.
Yeah.
Okay. Drop Frames Network reads 1990.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello. Oh, hold on.
Oh, there you go.
Am I here?
I think you're cutting in and out.
Damn it! I hate this. All right.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, this is a problem. Yeah, my Drop Frames Network reads 1.1%.
That's rendering lag, right?
Okay.
Okay, so it's definitely your internet. Other than contacting your internet provider, there's not much you can do about it right now.
Oh. Okay. So we should probably just call it a wrap now before it gets too fried.
Uh-oh. Aw.
Something wrong?
I'm sorry, that
Probably,
sucks.
Yeah.
If it continues to drop, then yeah.
Okay. Well, right now the little box is still showing green, but, you know, I just really don't want to risk this stream getting ruined all because laggy internet.
Yeah. Yep, that's the problem with streaming. Sometimes the internet just wants to poop all over you.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and here I thought using OBS would be easier, but I mean, does this computer slowing down have any ever partake in it? Is that part of the CPU or what?
If you want, you can try to kind of like, if you got like some applications open that you don't need immediately, you can try closing that down and see if that helps.
Okay.
Yes, do that.
Sometimes you might have like a bandwidth issue and then like it's not like working properly because there's just too much that's being run on your computer at once.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and heck, it messed up a little my dashboard here, but now it's okay. I fixed that, so that's one thing taken care of at least. Yeah, and that's the thing. Sometimes I have some different tabs open on my internet window here, and yeah, I forget to close some of those tabs. But still, I mean, why should the multiple tabs be slowing the computer and everything?
Yeah. If you have like multiple tabs in a browser, it's taking up like bandwidth in the background.
Ah.
So that still could affect it.
Okay, so what is the minimum number or maximum number of tabs that should be allowed open?
It depends on your internet, how good your internet is.
I'd say probably like 5 to 10.
So definitely less than 10.
Yeah, if you've got like if you've got like tabs that are like playing videos or something, or with a video in the window, then those sometimes like closing those down can help.
Okay. Well, so far the only one I have open is my Twitch stream manager to keep an eye on things.
Oh, okay. All right, then that's fine if it's not playing the video. So.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So now that that's taken care of, I think we could continue, unless you think you've seen enough for tonight.
I mean, I don't know. I can go for like another half hour if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trickster?
Hmm?
Oh.
Yeah, I said yeah.
Oh, okay. Like I thought I lost you for a second.
Which I
You fell down the well. No, okay.
Okay, on the matter of time travel, so far I have two ideas. One of which is this pearl kind of just opens it creates a sphere of electricity similar to like in the Terminator. The other is this idea of like a whirlpool of energy forms in the ground and you drop through it or something like that. Which should I find a way to incorporate them both or choose one or the other?
Probably, I don't know, you can maybe like have like the tornado be like kind of random gaps in time or something, and then like the pearl thing, you can use it as like, okay, like people can actually like use it instead of accidentally being swept up in time. You want to do something like that.
That's actually a better idea, I think. I think you may be right there. Thank you. Yeah, because I mean, I've been trying to figure out these two different ideas and make them work right, so yeah. Because I mean, my story does kind of take place in the aftermath, a 20-year aftermath after a great quake devastated LA. Maybe I could have it where, I mean, maybe there was a battle between the Blue Shogun and the demon in the feudal Japan. It created, basically, I think I think I could have the whirlpool of energy be like, that is what brought them into our time, and then the Blue Shogun had to use the pearl to get here because he knew if he tried going the same way, he could get sent to the wrong place. So it's like there's this fissure that can take you to any point in time, but you got to be careful, but it's a very hazardous means of traveling. You need the Blue Shogun and his pearl in order to go straight forward, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Yeah, this is
yeah,
definitely...
because I was like thinking, I was just like thinking about like, okay, like, you know, there's this show, it's called World of Wings, and so there's another world of dreams, right? And so, the wings cannot actually... Well, they couldn't for a while, like the main girls, couldn't actually control for a while when it popped over there, but the bad guys could, so with their special watches, right? So, you know, you were telling about like the tornado and the pearl idea, so I'm just like, oh, what if like the tornado's like, you know, it's just like, it's this uncontrollable means of time travel.
Yeah, like a freak of nature. Yeah, like the whirlpools.
Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe these whirlpools of time, they open up at random points or like at fixed points in time, like kind of like a ley line. It's like a place where the ley lines intersect, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and then maybe the one particular ley line was in Japan, and the ancestor of the Blue Shogun, the Blue Dragon Seiryu, maybe he took a simple pearl, put it into this this fissure, this whirlpool of time, and that's how it gained its power. Could that work? Okay, thank you.
Alright. Well, looks like you're coming up on AKB Village, it looks like, so...
And now we get to the interesting part of the story. Learning magic.
Okay.
There we are.
What rare use of Shikigami power?
What?
When you were in danger, do you remember what you cried out?
How would you know?
And you know what, as for me, like, about, like, the name brainstorming thing, it's like, I cannot really start forming an actual plot until I've got a name. I have to start with the name first.
Yeah.
That's fine. Like, if you can't, like, figure out a name, you can, it's good to, like, you know, flesh out the story, and then make a name from what you got.
I know, I know that, but it's like, I feel like I need to have a name first. It's like having a child and not knowing what to, it's like, it's just, you know, it's like, hey, you, I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe I can
That's just the way my brain works.
In fact, that may
like, I have a concept, and then like, okay, like I get the name from that or something else, so then I can start fleshing.
Yeah, I think I can make that.
I'm terrible at names, so.
I think the idea of having two different names could also work. Like, the whole whirlpool thing could be a time storm, whereas the Blue Shogun creates a time portal. How's that?
Yeah, why not?
Or Time Gate. Which is better, Time Portal or Time Gate?
Time Portal, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, Time Portal sounds good, because this is being made naturally, or using a supernatural thing. So saying it as Time Gate kind of feels like you built it and operated it, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, Grandma.
Yeah.
Exactly what is this
Yeah,
power?
so yeah, probably Time Portal is better.
It's what we call Shikigami, which is a special power that can be wielded. It's a spiritual power that exists in
Hairy,
all
smelly,
creatures
putrid with flies flying around? A big stinky butt? What are you talking about, Trap?
It sounds pretty amazing.
Oh, he said, sorry, the stream is acting like a butt. And I was like, butt I don't like.
But is that on your Twitch?
Yeah.
Nice. Good one, Trap. And Trickster.
You can't help it. There's nothing like this in our world.
Your world?
Yes, I'm from a different world.
Shikigami.
That actually is a thing in Japanese mysticism and myth.
Oh.
Yep.
You're from a different world.
Like, it's been different things, but the one I'm most aware of is that basically it's creatures that are born from paper that are imbued with supernatural energy.
Yeah, the one you just mentioned, the one made with paper and supernatural energy, that actually is featured in the Inuyasha anime. There are these two the red and white priestesses who command a form of Shikigami. But in this video game, the Shikigami that the main character wields is a bit different. But still more like, it's like raw power, almost godlike.
I can't even tell what you're wearing
Okay.
or what you look like.
Yeah, Shaman King also has that. It's like, they were, like, the main villain had Shikigami, and then the main character's girl beat him up.
Don't worry about it.
And she's like made them her pets, basically.
I don't know anything.
Which I found amusing. Like she's like, okay, I need to take this book to Yokun, which is like the main character. And it's like, but there's these evil creatures and there's these evil Shikigami sealed inside it, and then she just beats him up in like 5 minutes, and then it's like, okay, problem solved.
I don't know what brought you into this world.
Problem solved. I'm going to take the book to my hubby now, or like my fiance.
Hey,
this is mine now.
I actually get, have either of you ever watched Harry Potter?
But I can teach
I
you how
have.
to use
Yep,
the Shikigami
yep, I have.
power that
All 8
lies
movies.
within you.
I also read some of the books.
Well,
I
I
have like
know
a collection of those.
I'm curious, when I show you what the character's Shikigami in this game looks like, I gotta ask you, who would win a fight between this character, this Shikigami character, and, you know, any wizard from Harry Potter? Which magic would be superior?
Okay.
That's
Alrighty.
great. You should learn how to use it.
Yes, okay. Please teach me, Grandma Kakuju.
I don't know what you brought in this world. Well, sir, it was something. It was a floor.
Close your eyes and be very still.
It was a floor with pretty lights, and that's what brought me in.
And it's interesting that the symbol for Shikigami is almost like a, is basically a pentagram.
Shikigami?
No. We just awakened the Shikigami.
Yeah.
Now you will learn to use the Shikigami.
Fortunately, I do have a symbol in my Blue Shogun story to act as sort of like a similar to that pentagram, but it's its own unique design.
Oh no, this is exactly like the Grand Kai.
This rock is made from
Oh,
a
right,
certain
the
kind.
Grand Kai.
It reacts to the power
Hold my
of
hand and close your eyes.
Yeah.
Yes, meditate with me, young child.
Let me reach deep inside you.
And this is interesting. Apparently, Serpentine Rock is basically able to react to Shikigami. Watch
If
what
you can
happens.
properly use Shikigami, the rock will react and break.
Like allergic?
Go ahead and try it.
More like kind of like a special karate chop minus the karate chop.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I did it!
That's great.
Whatever. I can do that.
No need to get competitive. That's right. This isn't the place to be waving your sword around.
So it's interesting. My character already has a an anti-kryptonite in this game. A rock that can't hurt him, but he can hurt it.
Shut up!
Ow.
So, do you think you've learned how to use the Shikigami power?
Yes.
Whoa.
Pretty much.
Now the test will be in putting it to actual use.
Okay. Thank you, Grandma.
Yeah, I
Let's
can
go find
fight.
a villager who might know something.
Say, hold on, what?
That's a woman?
Yeah, that's a woman.
Like Mr. Magoo with a Beatles haircut. Jeez.
What's a woman?
Yeah, my stepdad thinks it looks like Mr. Magoo with a Beatles haircut.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah?
Wait, who looks like?
The old lady.
The old lady.
Oh, the old lady.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that is an old lady.
Thought
Oh.
Asian women well.
Oh,
I feel awkward.
come
I'm like,
on,
okay,
man.
that other lady was definitely a lady, and then this is the grandpa, but okay. I suppose they are calling her grandma. I only have myself to blame for not realizing it sooner.
Oh, an interesting
Context clues, right, kitty? Context clues.
an interesting thing. If you had
Hey, old man is like, I'm a woman. Damn it.
an interesting thing. If I had chosen to play as the girl instead of the boy, the old lady would have been an old man with a mustache.
Oh, that's an interesting choice.
Seconds?
Yeah, and I might have thirds.
Respect your elders. Now come touch me, young one.
You guys can't get out of the village either?
What? Yeah.
Ghost spider. Ooh.
Huh? Why?
Your clothes are different, so I figured you weren't from here.
You're right. But why can't people get out of the village?
Because of the spider. Lately, there's been a big demon spider wandering around the place.
A big demon spider? Where's Spider-Man when you need him?
No one can leave the village because everyone is scared.
Spider? I hate spiders.
I don't really like them either.
I don't think that's the problem.
And it's not just any spider. It's an enormous spider with a white web that captures people.
Captures the white web. Scary.
On top of that, he has black hair on his legs.
Please stop.
I think he's exaggerating.
He has more than 10 eyes.
He's definitely exaggerating.
Hey, talk straight, old man.
Sorry, I get a kick out of the girls getting scared so easily when I tell the story. I got carried away. Anyway, until someone takes care of them, everybody's too scared to leave the village.
Hey, here's a question. Who would win in a fight between Spider-Man and Shelob from Lord of the Rings? Oh.
Spider-Man. Uh-oh.
Oh, come on. Stupid.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, what the hell is wrong with this?
Yeah, but it's good now.
Okay. Yeah, did you hear what I said before, or did you miss that part?
Sometimes it does it because the internet is butt.
Yeah, the internet is a big butt.
It's I didn't anything.
Okay,
It's the same conversation.
yeah, who do you think would win in a fight between Spider-Man and Shelob from Lord of the Rings?
Shoot.
Am I not following on Twitch? Rectify that.
Hey, look what Hey, Traveler, have you heard about the old temple? It seems there's a bunch of demons in there.
In the old temple?
That's a little scary.
Uh-oh. Again. Okay.
Ow.
Yeah, this thing is really acting up. You know, I think I might just call it 10 minutes early.
It seems to be working fine on my end.
Yeah. I don't get why this is doing this, but
Okay.
I really am. I'm just trying to give you all good
maybe
internet.
next
I hope
time
you can
it'll
get
work
your
better.
internet worked out.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm just trying to give you all good quality entertainment, and yeah, this thing is just being a pain in the freaking butt.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, thank you all for joining me. Oh, darn it. Because I X'd out of the thing, I want to try and raid, but it's almost like gonna be difficult
Oh,
if I can't.
thanks for introducing me to this game.
Hey, no worries. I'm glad I could help you. And do you guys want to come back again and do this sometime, or would you like to find a way to play it yourselves? Uh-oh.
Yeah, that sounds cool. We can get this working again.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could get an emulator or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Probably some good PlayStation emulators, I'm guessing.
Well, if I can get this thing working just right, I might be able to find someone to raid. But if not, I guess. Oh, come on. Yeah, my freaking internet is being a pain in the freaking butt now.
I paid the bill. I don't know what the hell the problem is.
Alrighty, come on, work with me, thing. Work with me, computer.
Oh boy.
Okay, slowly but surely, going slower than molasses in the wintertime. I have my stepdad to thank for that one. Alrighty, let's see who there is to raid. Ah, alrighty, we're gonna raid Crimson Albedo, who's playing Streets of Fury X.
Ooh, nice.
Alright.
Alrighty. Or at least that's on the YouTube, or the Twitch end, I mean. Let's see, is there anyone to raid on YouTube before we wrap this up?
I'm looking. Let's see.
I see a few here on my end. Let me see if, Okay, 1, 2.
Oh, is Azalea streaming?
Yeah, and so is Lightning Farron. Who do you prefer to raid tonight, Azalea or Lightning Farron?
Azalea?
Okay, Azalea it is. Alrighty.
Let's go. Azalea time.
Let me first type in the thing here. For YouTube, go raid Azalea 22. And be sure to use the hashtag at MJ1 Media Raid to let her know I sent ya. There we go. Paste that, and then tweak this one to go to Crimson Albedo.
Alright.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I've got it now, so... Contralium Chords. Magical girls and boys summon monsters out of cards to do battle by activating their Contralium Chords. Each combatant strums the chords on their gear, activating the card's call, summoning out their monsters and transforming into their knights. And then one fateful day, a melody plays throughout the world, the cards falling from the sky. I thought I shouldn't probably directly rip from Bakugan's opening, but... Oh, now there's gonna be music.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Yeah, that's pretty good. We'll probably watch an anime of that.
Alright. So, let's see.
Alrighty. As soon as I get the thing here. And underscore and copy link and then paste. Alrighty. We are about to close this thing down. There we go. Both raids left in the thing, so that way if anyone wants to go to either YouTube or Twitch to raid Azalea or Crimson Albedo, we will be good to go. Now then, care to give your closings and tell everyone where to find you and what you do?
Okay. Well, my name is Riot Kitty. I am an artist, a writer, and designer. I work on some comics and write and draw stuff in my spare time on my channel, and you know, I like talking about a variety of subjects, so if any of that sounds interesting, then you can go ahead and like go check out my channel. So I've got big videos planned, so hope you all stay tuned for that.
Nice. Well, I am Trickster, aka Dexter. I am an animator, artist, and game maker. I stream on Twitch and YouTube. Trickster streams it, and I have a main YouTube for all my animations. What is it? Trickster 511. I forgot because I changed it. But yeah, I just hang out on streams, play games, and or do work. Be cool to see you guys drop by.
Alrighty. And
Thank you everybody for stopping by.
And I am Jeffrey Turner, aka MJ1 of MJ1 Media, bringing to you Inuyasha, Secret of the Cursed Mask, and you can bet on that. And with all that said and done, have a good rest of your night, morning, afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are watching this, whether it's live or on the replay. And if you're on YouTube, be sure to shoot that like button as it helps the channel grow, and also shoot the dislike button to show YouTube that they should not take it away from us. Also, shoot the subscribe button and shoot that bell to stay notified. And yeah, also for those on the Twitch end, please try to follow as many of my Twitch streams as possible, because I'm trying to get to 3.0 average viewers by the end of February, so that way I can get affiliated. So if you can do that, I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, with all that said and done, okay, Trickster, care to give your last words when you close out a stream?
Sure. Until next time, everyone. Go make magic.
Alright, Katie is signing out. Peace.
This is MJ1 Media, and you can bet on that.
Live long and prosper.
The Force will be with you. Always.
Cobra Kai
never dies.
There is no fate but what we make for ourselves.
Now why don't you make like a tree and get out of here?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I guess we're done now?
We are done.
Alright, well, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming aboard. I've been wanting to do a anime talk stream with you three for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I like talking animes. Yeah.
It was fun.
Alright, as for me, I gotta go downstairs, maybe have some food. I don't know.
Yeah, I gotta go eat dinner too.
Alright, well, thanks for having me on, so hope you guys have a good day. Alright, well, that's good. I eat terribly. I have like 10 o'clock breakfast, 3 o'clock lunch, maybe 7 o'clock.
It is okay.
It's funny. Alright. Alright, see you guys, and good luck with Twitch affiliation, Jeff.
Goodbye,
Bye.
everyone.